Hey, hello, Irv.
Hi, how you doing?
Okay, you can hear me all right?
Yep.
Very good. Very good. Okay, we're going to another minute or two and we'll start. All right?
No problem.
Very good.
Where you starting from?
I'm going to be starting from Kaf Aleph Amud on the very bottom. Kaf Aleph Amud Beis, the last line, which is going to include Shabbos's daf, in case people didn't make it, didn't do it. So I know that sort of makes us a little bit behind, but actually, no, I'm sorry. That Kaf Bet is today. So that finishes Shabbos's daf, and it gets us to start on today's daf, which is Kaf Beis. Okay. So if you're caught up, we've been dealing with Hanukkah a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we've got another participant. Rebecca has joined us. Okay, I'm going to mute your mic, okay? All right. Okay, so in a moment we're going to get started this afternoon with the Daf Yomi. Previous of all last week's shiurim have been recorded on the cloud, and one can access them through the synagogue on the Thursday or Friday. Email from Andrea indicated how to do so. Okay. Today we're going to start on the very bottom of Kaf Aleph Amud Beis, the last line, and we'll be picking up Kaf Bet, which is the daf for today. Okay? So I'm waiting one more minute or two in case anybody else is going to jump in, and we'll be set. Okay? I'm assuming, by the way, that some of the other people have been accessing that they're continuing with their learning of the daf, and that they've been accessing other resources. Some told me that they've been calling in to Rabbi Sugarman at BRS. That's at 7 o'clock in the morning. I know that BRS was also going to do an evening daf, but I don't have the details on that. Or I remind everyone that there is all daf under the OU, which one can access. Okay, so let's get underway now with, as I said, the last line on Kaf Aleph Amud Beis, the very bottom of the Amud. Rav Kahana is our speaker. Amar Rav Kahana, he says, Darash Rav Natan bar Minyome, that Rav Natan ben Binyome gave a drasha. He expounded as follows: Mishmei de Rabbi Tanchum, in the name of Rabbi Tanchum. And now we're on Kaf Bet, which is today's daf. Right? Ner shel Chanukah, shehinicha lamala me'esrim ama, psula kesuka ukemabui. Okay, a short statement. He says, but what he's telling us, as we see, as in a previous Gemara, that somebody who's on the second floor of a two-story house does not put their Hanukkah menorah or Hanukkah lamp outside, Instead, they put it in the window because it's more than 20 tfachim high, 20 cubits high, really. And therefore, what he's telling us is likewise here, that if it's more than 20 cubits high, the Hanukkah menorah is invalid, just like the question of a sukkah, the height of the schach on the sukkah, or like mabui, or like putting up a beam to set up an alleyway with a lechi. Again, the implication here being is that most people are not going to be, if they're walking down the alleyway, they're not going to be looking up that high to be able to see that there is a lechi or a beam across the top of the mabui, across the top of the alleyway, in order to form a tzurat hapetach. And so that is his statement. V'amar Rav Kahana. Now, Darash Rav Natan bar Menyume, and he cites another statement, Mishmei de Rav Tanchum. In the name of Rav Tanchum, Mai dichtiv, what does it mean when it says, citing a pasuk in Breshit, remember the story of Yosef, V'habor reik ein bo mayim, that the cistern, the well, the pit is empty and it is lacking water. Memashma shene'amar v'habor reik, says the drasha, from the fact that the pasuk itself says that the pit is empty, clearly that's going to tell me, eini yodea she'ein bo mayim. If it's empty, that should automatically tell me that it doesn't have any water in it. So why does the pasuk come to tell me that there's no water in it? Ela ma tamud lomar. What does it come to teach me? Ein bo mayim. When it says there's no water, mayim ein bo aval mechashim va'akravim yesh bo. Right? But snakes and scorpions, they're there. And here, by the way, we see where Rashi comment on that pasuk where he derived it from. Okay, going on now, dealing back more specifically to issues regarding Hanukkah. Amar Rabbah, he says, near Hanukkah, right, regarding a lamp, okay, for Hanukkah. And remember, we said the lamp had to include at least a single light, a single, right? Mitzvah lahanicha b'tefech hasmucha lepetach. It is a mitzvah to put it at least a handbreadth within the entrance of the doorway. Vehecha menachle, asks the Gemara, and where does one put it? Rav Acha Berei the Rava answers as follows.
Rabbi?
Miyamin. He said you put it on the right side. Rav Shmuel Midifti says, Amar Mismo, said you put it on the left side. Right? So the question is, where is this Hanukkah lamp supposed to be put? Right? V'hilchata mismol, and the law is that it goes on the left side. Kadei shetahei ner Chanukah mismol u'mezuzah miyamin, so that the entrance of the doorway to the person's home, in a sense, is surrounded by mitzvot. Why? Because you have the mitzvah of mezuzah on the right, and during Hanukkah, the Hanukkah licht, the Hanukkah candle or lamp on the other side. Okay, continuing now. We're about a quarter of the way down the Amud. Amar Rav Yehuda, Amar Rav Asi, Amar Rav. Asur lahartzot me'ot keneged ner Hanukkah. It's forbidden to count coins opposite, in other words, using the light of the Hanukkah lamp. Why is that the case? Ki amrita kame de Shmuel, as it was said before Shmuel, Amarli, that we said, B'chi ner kedusha yeshba. Do we say that this item, this Hanukkah lamp, has a level of sanctity of its own? Not necessarily. There are objects that we say have a level of sanctity of their own, but there are other objects that only gain sanctity because they are utilized to do a mitzvah. Okay? A Kiddush cup, for example, does not necessarily have inherent sanctity. However, it becomes a sacred object, right? And you want a hidur, you want a beautiful cup to fulfill the mitzvah of Kiddush. And so therefore that is the challenge, all right? Does this lamp have its own inherent sanctity? Okay? So the answer, okay, is that we find the following. Mat Kifla Rav Yosef. Rav Yosef challenges and suggests as follows. B'chidam kedusha yeshbo. Does blood itself, okay, have any sanctity? And yet, when we slaughter the animal, we have a requirement to cover the blood with earth, with dust, okay? Therefore, what does that mean? It doesn't have sanctity itself, but it has to be treated in an appropriate manner. And therefore, we cite the Braita. The Tanya is taught, B'shafach v'chisa, where it says that the blood poured out and is covered. B'mesh shafach yichasem. With that, by the means by which he poured it, namely taking the hand and pouring the item out from the utensil that one collected the blood, yichaseh. He must therefore likewise cover the blood with his hand. In other words, with a utensil that's used by his hand, as opposed to just kicking dirt on it with his foot. Shelo yichasenu b'regel, that he cannot cover it here with his foot. Shelo yiyu mitzvot bizuyot alav. Why? So that the mitzvah does not seem to be contemptible, does not seem to be of minimum significance. Hachanami, here too, shelo yiyu mitzvot bezuyot alav. So here too, we say likewise that in regards to the ner, okay, it also has to be treated appropriately, even though the Hanukkah lamp itself doesn't have inherent sanctity. Okay, continuing now. Ba'u minei Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi. So now they asked Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi. Okay? And here again, while the example the Gemara is going to give us seems a little far-fetched, it follows from our previous example. Namely, if you say that the object does not have direct sanctity, but it's used for a sacred purpose, what about other examples, okay, that we might question? And that's where we proceed. Ba'u minei Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi. So they asked Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi, Mahu lehistapek miniyoi sukkah shel shiva. What about the situation about using decorations that were designated specifically to beautify the sukkah, and using it, okay, not just for the entire holiday, but beyond that as well. Amarle, he said to him, Hare Amru, here the rabbis have already said, Asur lahartzot ma'ot keneged ner Chanukah, that it's forbidden to count money, coins, opposite to the lamp of the Hanukkah lights. Right? So even if that's a rather simple act, okay, a few moments to count the coins that one might have in a pocket or a pouch, okay, that's not the purpose, right, of the Hanukkah lights. Their purpose is Persume Nisa, is to proclaim the miracle. And we saw already a previous Gemara that said that we need a separate light in order to light them as well. So that we cannot light from one specific to another if we're lighting more than one. So Gemara continues. Amar Rav Yosef. So Rav Yosef says, Mare da Avraham. Okay, taking an oath. He's saying, right, God of Abraham, he said, Tale Tanya B'delo Tanya. You're sort of making something dependent, okay, on something that's not dependent, right? Sukkah Tanya, okay? With regards to the Sukkah, okay, we have it's very clearly taught. That's a Torah mandated requirement, all right? Hanukkah, Lo Tanya, but Hanukkah is not taught. It's not a Torah mandated. It's rabbinically mandated. And therefore, how can you draw that kind of comparison? The Tanya, because we have a Braita that teaches Sachacha kehelchata, that if one covered the roof, put the schach, okay, according to the appropriate law and requirements, ve'itra, and then one beautifies the inside of the sukkah, bikramim ubestinim, with all sorts of decorated curtains and sheets, hamitsuyarim, that are illustrated, v'tala ba'egozim, afarsikim, shkedim v'rimonim, and you hang as part of your decorations in the sukkah, right? You hang nuts and peaches and almonds and pomegranates, uparchilei anavim, and clusters of grapes, va'atarot shel shibolim, and you put up bundles of grain, okay? Things like that, okay? Yenot shma'anim, all right? Or you also have ears of corn or wine or oils, right? Shmanim, slatot, right? Asur lehistapek mehen ad motzei yom tov ha'acharon shel chag. Excuse me. It's forbidden to make use of them until the very end of the last day of the holiday of Sukkot. However, says the Braita, ve'im hitneh alehem, but if one made a stipulation regarding these items, okay, what happens? Hakol lefitz na'o, then the use of those items, okay, could be used otherwise, since one stipulated at the outset that while I was decorating the sukkah with these things, nevertheless I might use them in another manner. Ella Amar Rav Yosef, says Rav Yosef, okay, right? Avuhon, he says, the kulhu, the primary model for all of these things, dam, is the use of blood. In other words, the example we gave previously, that the same way the blood itself is not inherently sanctified, but still must be covered because it's part of a sacred act. So likewise, the same applies, according to Rav Yosef, to the items used to decorate the sukkah. Continuing now on a new statement. Itmar, it was said about this. Rav Amar, says Rav, Ein madlikin min ner laner, that one is not permitted to light from one, let's say in this case, lamp to another lamp, right? Or we might even say from one candle to another candle. Shmuel Amar madlikin, and Shmuel disagrees and says that you may light from lamp to lamp. Rav Amar, Ein matirin tzitzit mi beged lebeged. Another example of a machloket between Rav and Shmuel, that one cannot take tzitzis off one garment to then, tie it to another. Shmuel Amar matirin mi beged lebeged. And Shmuel says it's permitted to do so. Third example of a machloket, Rav Amar ein halacha keRabbi Shimon begrira, that the law is not according to Rabbi Shimon in the case of grira, of dragging a piece of furniture, a bed, a chair, things like that, on Shabbos, and despite the fact that one creates a furrow in the ground, okay? So therefore, Rav is saying that's not permitted. Ushmuel Amar, halacha keRabbi Shimon begrira. And Shmuel says, no, the law is like Rabbi Shimon, who permits that dragging, because his understanding is that even though the furrow was created, that was not the intent of the person to do so. And therefore, that is why he accepts it. Amar Abaye, and now Abaye says, Kol mile demar, okay, all these statements, the words of the master, namely Rabbah, Avid Karav, he would follow after the decisions of Rav. Lavar mihani tlat, with the exception of these three, Da'avid Kishmuel, that he went after the decisions of Shmuel. Madlikin miner laner, that one can light from one lamp to another lamp. Umatirin mi beged lebeged, and one can untie tzitzit from one garment to put on another. V'halacha keRabbi Shimon begrira, and that the law is like Rabbi Shimon in terms of dragging. The Tanya Rabbi Shimon, as Rabbi Shimon says in a Braita, Omer gorer adam mita kisei v'safsal, that a person may drag a bed, a chair, or a bench, ubilvad shelo yikaven la'asot charitz, so long as it was not his intent to create a furrow. Now, another story. Yativ hahu Rabbanan, mi Rabbanan, kame de Rab Adabar Ahava. There was sitting one of the rabbis, right, before Rav Adabar Ahava. V'yativ v'kamar. He was sitting and telling the following. Ta'amad Rav mishum bizui mitzvah. The reasoning that Rav is giving is because of the concern that one have a contemptible attitude towards the mitzvah. Amar lo, and so they said to him, Lo tatzitu le. Others said, don't pay attention to him. Ta'amei derav mishum deka makchish mitzvah. No, the reasoning of Rav is because it weakens the mitzvah. Right? My benayu. So what's the difference in these explanations? Ika benayu deka madlik mishraga leshraga. The difference is where he lights from one lamp to another lamp directly without using something in between, like a chip of wood or something else. Man da'amar mishum bizui mitzvah mishraga l'shraga madlik. The one who says to be concerned about contemptibility of the mitzvah from one lamp to another permits lighting. Man da'amar mishum akhushe mitzvah. But according to the one who says one weakens the mitzvah, mishraga l'shraga nami asur, from one lamp to another lamp directly is forbidden. Now, why is that the case? Because when one lights with a mitzvah lamp, so to speak, okay, he's saying that's not showing the ability to continue the mitzvah, to strengthen the mitzvah in the second lamp. Whereas if you light it from a non-mitzvah object, like a chip of wood, okay, you are showing that the second lamp is clearly going to burn as bright, okay, as the first one did. Okay, let's go on. Last line on Kaf Bet Amud Aleph, and then we'll roll over. Okay, Metiv, this is challenged, right? Rav Avia challenged it with the following: Sela shel ma'aser sheni. What about the following? He said, coin, right? That one uses for the redemption of ma'aser sheni, of a second tithe, right? Ein shoklin kenegdo dinari zahav. We cannot use it, that coin, to on a balance scale in order to weigh other gold coins, other gold denarii. Va'afilu lechalel alav ma'aser sheni acher. And even if we were to say that this, so to speak, for the moment, newer, brighter, okay, coin, okay, is to come to replace a similar older coin that had been initially thought to be used for the Maaser Sheni redemption. Why is that the case? I amart b'shlema ki plige Rav u'Shmuel miner lener. If you're going to say that this is similar to the argument of Rav and Shmuel in regarding lighting from one lamp to another lamp, aval b'kinsa. If we say, however, with a wood chip, asar Shmuel forbade it, halo tiyufta. That would then not be a proof text, a refutation, right? Ela I amart b'kinsa nami shari. But if you're going to say that with this wood chip it's permitted, hat yutuvta, that then would be a clear refutation. Okay. Now, gezerah shema lo yichavein mishkalotav. Right? Why? Because then, right? Rava says, why? Because then it would be a measure, a preventive measure, a gezerah, decree, lest one not find the weights exact, and as a result, kamafik laho lechulin. One would therefore wind up having a situation where either the gold dinars would not be the appropriate weight, and therefore the coin for the second tithe is not suitable, since it doesn't cover the requirement. Okay? Or we might say that the similarity is to the point that here too, you would wind up using something that's inappropriate, this non-sacred wood chip for a sacred purpose. And therefore that would also be problematic. Now, Meitiv Rav Sheshet. Rav Sheshet challenges this, and he raises the following point. We have a pasuk that says, Michutz leparochet ha'edut ya'aroch. Okay? That in this case, the pasuk says, outside of the veil, outside of the parochet ha'edut, the veil of testimony, okay, or Aaron is supposed to order it. B'chil la'orah hu tzarich. In other words, the pasuk is saying, in essence, that it's as if Hashem needs the light in order to be able to see, okay, during these 40 years in the traveling in the desert. Right? V'chi la'orah hu tzarich. Does the Kadosh Baruch Hu actually need such light? V'halo kol 40 shana shehalchu b'nei Yisrael b'midbar. That the whole 40 years that they were traveling in the wilderness, lo halchu ela la'oro, that they only traveled through means of his light, namely the pillar of fire at night. Ela edut hu leba'ei olam. But rather it's a testimony, okay, to humanity, to the Jewish people, okay? Right? To what? Shehashchina shoreh b'Yisrael. That the divine presence rests on Israel. Ma'yi edut. So what kind of testimony is it? Okay, do we have any further proof of that? Amar Rav. Says Rav, indeed we do. The example he gives is from the menorah. Remember that the menorah had a certain number of branches, 3 on one side, 3 on another side, and a single one in the middle. Now, Amar Rav, says Rav, Zo ner ma'aravi. That middle light, okay, is the western branch of the menorah. Okay? And what happens? Right? Shenotein bashemen kemidat chavrutel. And poured into its holder is enough oil to satisfy the requirement for all of the others. Umimena hayam adlik. And from this also it was possible to light the other branches, right, from it. Uba hayam misayin. And also, okay, they would finish with this. Vaha, hacha kivan de kavie nerot. But the Gemara raises a question. But here, since the lamps were fixed, okay, they were in place. Lo sagya de lo mashkil va'adluke. Okay, that we say here, right, that it's impossible that one would take something in light from one to the other. Kasha. Indeed, it's difficult. Bein leman de amar mishum bezui mitzvah. Bein leman de amar mishum achushe mitzvah. It's difficult whether we say that according to the one who uses the argument of making the mitzvah contemptible, or to the one who says it weakens the mitzvah. In either case, it's like a impairing or a cheapening of the commandment. What happens? Tirgama Rav Papa, but ptilot aruchot. But Rav Papa explained it in the fact that we said we had long wicks. In other words, that the wicks on the 3 outside, if you will, branches on either side of the central piece, okay, had long wicks and they could reach and be lit from that central example. Sof, leman da'amar mishum akushe mitzvah kasha. Okay, ultimately, okay, that the one who holds that it is due to the weakening, the impairing of the precept, of the practice, that is indeed problematic. And the Gemara says, kasha, indeed, it's a difficulty. So Gemara then is not satisfied with this discussion and asks the following question. Mai hava Allah? What's the result? What's the bottom line, the decision here? Okay? Is it a question of it being still a difficulty? Or is it a question of Rav and Shmuel's argument as to who's correct? Okay? How do we explain it? Okay? Amar Rav Huna Berei de Rav Yehoshua says as follows, right? Chazina. Okay, let's consider the following. I hadlaka asa mitzvah, ose mitzvah. If it's the lighting that fulfills the mitzvah, madlikin miner lemner, then we can say, right, that one may light from one lamp to the next lamp, right? Just like kindling from the branches of the menorah in the temple. They were kindled from one lamp to the next. Okay? Ve'i hanacha ose mitzvah. But if we say placing the Hanukkah lamp in its, so to speak, niche, slot, okay? If that goes outside or on the table by a window on the second floor, ein madlikin miner lanier, then now we're not permitted to light from one lamp to the next lamp, right? Because once it's lit, it's already sanctified, and therefore placing it has no almost real value. The ibaye laho, right? And so what happens then? Okay, that they were asked the following: Hadlaka ose mitzvah, o hanacha ose mitzvah. So what is it? Is it the lighting that fulfills the mitzvah, or is it the placement of the Hanukkah light in its proper place that does the mitzvah? Tashma, listen to the following Braita. The Amar Rabba, as Rabba says, right? Hayat tafus ner Chanukah va'omed. If a person is standing and holding themselves outside the Hanukkah menorah, right? V'lo asav v'lo klum. It's as if he's done nothing. Shma mina hanacha oseh mitzvah. Okay, that would seem to imply that placing it in its proper place is what fulfills the mitzvah. Hatam, there, however, somebody could challenge and say, Haro'eh Omer, one who sees him at that point, might say, Letzorchohu denakit leh, that he was just holding it there, not to fulfill the mitzvah, but for his own purpose. Tashma, therefore another Braita tells us, the Amar Rava, that Rava said, Hedlika bifnim v'hotzia, that if he lights it inside and then takes it out, lo asa klum. Okay, then again, it's as if he's done nothing, right? Right? I amart b'shlema. If you're going to say then, hadlaka oseh mitzvah, that the lighting fulfills the mitzvah, hadlaka b'mkomo ba'inan, then it would seem that we need to light it in its proper place, right? Mishum hachi lo asa klum. Otherwise, he will not have done anything. Ela I amart hanacha osa mitzvah. But then again, if you say placing it in its proper place is what fulfills the mitzvah, amai lo asa v'lo klum. Why is it then that we say that he doesn't anything? Not to hide. Hatam nami haroehu omer. There too, we might say that somebody who observes him can simply say, L'tzorcho hu da'adlaka, that for his purpose there, he lit it for his own purpose. Right? As we continue a little bit further, Tashma, listen to the following Braita that tries to clarify. The Amar Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi, as Rabbi Yoshua ben Levi says on the top of Kaf Gimel, Amud Aleph, Ashashit, Shahaita Doleket, V'holechet Kol Hayom Kulo. If one had a lantern, right, and lit it, okay, and it was burning throughout the entire day of Shabbat, right? L'motzei Shabbat, Mechaba Umadlika. At the end of Shabbat, its conclusion, one can extinguish it and then light it again. I amart b'shlema hadlaka osa mitzvah. If therefore you're going to say that the lighting is what fulfills the mitzvah, shapir, that seems fine. Ela I amart hanacha osa mitzvah. But if you say that placing it in its proper location fulfills the mitzvah, Hai mechaba umadlika. Then what about the business of saying extinguishing it and relighting it? Well, instead, what one should have said is mechaba, one extinguishes, umagbiha, and lifts it up and puts it in its proper place, umanicha, putting it in that location, umadlika, and then lights it, mibaile. That's what should have been said. Right? Va'od, and furthermore, says the Gemara, okay? Midekam mevarchinan, since when we recite the blessing, we say as follows, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Chanukah, to light, right, the candle, the Chanukah lamp. Shma mina, we learn from this, hadlaka osa mitzvah, that it's the lighting that does the candle, that does the mitzvah. Shma mina. Indeed, that is what we learn from it. And that's where we will stop today, a number of lines down on Kaf Gimel, Amud Beis, which is tomorrow's daf. Okay, I'm going to unmute, and if anybody has a question. Any questions?
I have a comment about yesterday's daf where it says the Chenvani Patur.
Yeah.
Because, Rebbe had it in for the Chashmonayim because they took the Malchus from Yehuda. That's why there's so little about Hanukkah altogether in the Mishnah and the Gemara. But Yochanan Kohen Gadol was Kohen Gadol for 80 years. And they said the last year he was a Saduki.
Yeah.
And this comes, they turn Chenvani into Yochanan. And they say Yochanan was Patur.
Okay, I wasn't familiar with that. Okay, but there, that's the question of who is responsible, whether it's the camel driver, so to speak, who loaded the camel up with flax that was too long or too, right, that would hit the lamp and cause the fire. And you're saying, though, that the person who was fulfilling the mitzvah put the lamp on the outside of the stall.
Mhm.
Today, I don't know how often we find whether we would use that example, because most people only light their Hanukkah licht at home, not in their stores, right? But nevertheless, it would seem that may be why he would say the chen vani is patur,
Yeah.
right? And that connects what we did with today with the saying of, if you put it too high, okay, he's not yotze, because in that situation, right, as the Gemara says, well, then you have to figure it's got to be taller than the camel and the person riding on the camel. And that could be then beyond the appropriate height.
Right.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
Thank you,
Javi.
everybody. Bye, Rabbi Green. Bye,
Okay.
everybody.
Have a good evening, everybody, and stay well.
Yeah. Okay.